When you think of reaction time, I know what you're thinking. You've seen some Netflix documentaries, you see some lights flashing somewhere, somebody touching those lights, maybe trying to avoid those lights. And while that is reaction time, it's only a small sliver of it. In actuality, something that you see in the real world of playing sport at a high level is that reaction time is something much more, something that needs to be addressed in a way that goes way beyond just touching flashing lights. And that's something that we're going to go through with the new paradigm of reaction time. Hi, I'm Daniel Gallucci, neuroperformance coach, and I've worked with athletes, amateur and professional, from a variety of sports, mixed martial arts, boxing, soccer, hockey, pretty much all of them out there. And one of the things that's commonly seen is reaction time. And this is something that any athlete is concerned with, yet I would say it's something that we need to do a better job of, and that's why we've created the new paradigm of reaction time. In the old paradigm, it's where you commonly see athletes where they're trying to see something, they're trying to process something, and they're going to react to something, often by pressing these flashy lights. And while that is undoubtedly a part of reaction time training, it's just a tiny sliver. It's like the icing on a cake in terms of what actually needs to happen when we're looking at developing overall reaction time for an athlete. Overall reaction time that involves both the body and the brain. Overall reaction time that involves both the body and the eyes and your brain working together. For a more complete model of reaction time, for athletes that look like they've got great reaction time, when in fact they've built a more complete model in their brain of what reaction time means. And oftentimes they've done it inadvertently. But what they've done is they've focused on a level of brain development instead of purely, again, what you see when it comes to the things that we commonly see in the world today, which is just eyes and hands. Reacting to flashing lights, touching flashing lights. Again, there's a component of that undoubtedly. But when it comes to building an athlete, when it comes to having great reaction time that can be transferred onto the field of play, that's much more of a brain phenomenon than just simply an eyes and a hands one. And I think a wonderful example of that is something, if anybody's watched, if not, you should watch The Last Dance, which is a phenomenal documentary about the Bulls' run for a 6th championship. I think one of the things that's underappreciated in the documentary is listening to Dennis Rodman and listening to him talk about the amount of study that he actually put into being able to rebound the ball. And this is what it comes down to when we're talking about building a brain model. Rodman didn't necessarily have the fastest eyes. I bet if they had the technology at the time where you could kind of look at the speed of the eye movements of all the players across the board, I don't think that you would find Rodman had any sort of outlandish, phenomenal characteristics in terms of how well his eyes could move or how fast his eyes could move or his hands. Yet he explains in detail in the documentary that he would spend hours just watching guys shoot the ball. And he would go into other gyms and watch people shoot the ball. And what he was doing is he was building a network of information in his brain that he could then draw from, so that when he saw Larry Bird and he knew there was going to be a bit of backspin, he knew where to stand under the hoop. He knew that if Magic was shooting and there was no backspin, he could then adjust to that. So inadvertently, he was building a brain model. He was building a type of instinct from an athletic perspective that gave him what looked to be reaction time. 6 or 7-time rebounding champion, he was able to do that because he had a brain network that was built around that. It wasn't simply just working on how fast his eyes or his hands could be. So these are the things that we're going to go through today when we go through the exercises for the new paradigm of reaction time. The key component of this new paradigm is 100% total immersion in the sport. And we're going to start with how much you're actually watching the sport. And yeah, watching the sport. And I know, because this is something that people will deal with in clinic all the time. They'll say, but my eyes aren't moving fast enough. And The reality of it is, when it comes to the foundation of building better reaction time, like we discussed with the Rodman video before, we need you to build a brain that understands sport immensely and intimately. And that means you're going to watch sport, and then you're going to watch more of it, and you're going to watch more of it, and you're going to watch more of it. So for example, if you're a soccer player, and we do this with some of our young soccer groups, they're watching high-level sport. They can pick their favorite team, they can pick their favorite players, and they go on YouTube there, and they're going to watch for 10 minutes before they even head to practice. They're going to watch for 10 minutes before every game. And that's the way it starts in week 1. And then it's 15 minutes in week 2. Then it's 20 minutes in week 3. And we work up to a half an hour. They're watching a half hour of sport at a high level. And that's, again, you have to think of it, your brain is this almost sponge. And you're taking in information and information and information. And the more you can pull in information, and start very basic. It doesn't have to be exactly like Rodman did. It can be like Coach E over here, who starts by just watching sport, but then he's got a bit of a biomechanics leaning, so then he's looking at more of the mechanics of it. And all that stuff will come later. At the beginning, it's just very casually, but with intent and with attention. I want you to watch sport. You're just watching people play sport at that high level over and over and over again, and you'll be amazed at the foundation that that can build at the brain level, which then you can rely upon, which then becomes the foundation of what is later the fancy little drills that get put in. Now that you understand the key component of what it takes to develop good reaction time, great reaction time, let me take you through a few drills that'll fire up your brain, fire up your body in a way that really gives you the foundation that you need for better reaction time out on the field of play. Let's go. The first of those drills is sympathetic breathing. So this is a way to just literally fire up your brain. This fires up all areas of your brain, thinking areas, visual areas, movement areas of your brain, and you can do it by simply just implementing a breathing exercise in a particular way. And we're going to coach you through it. So what I want you to do, you're sitting comfortable, you got to think. It's pre-game, pre-practice, it's on your way to the game. You're going to anchor this drill into the stuff that you're already doing. So every day that you have training, every day that you have a game, this is something that you're going to put in, okay? And you're going to be sitting comfortably, nice and upright. You're not slouching over like Coachy in the corner over there. You're sitting upright. And what I want you to do, soft, easy shoulders, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. You're going to take a breath in through your nose, deep. And then what you're going to do, it's a sharp, hard, fast breath out through your mouth. So it's in, it's in, it's in slow and long, and then it's out, sharp and quick. And we're going to go through that 10 breaths, and you're going to do that 2 times. So you do 10 breaths, then you can breathe normally, 5 or 6 breaths, and then you're going to repeat that again. But the key is you're going to take a long, slow breath in through your nose and a sharp, hard breath out. And that's going to fire up your sympathetic nervous system. That's going to get you ready to play. That's going to get your reaction time skills ready to go. The next drill is something that we developed in clinic way back. It's something that we like to call rapid touch. This is, again, something that you can do pre-sport. So you're doing this pre-game, pre-training, just like your other drills. And this is about pulling the body back into the equation. Again, when it comes to like understanding what reaction time really looks like, you need this amazing feedback between what's happening at the body and then what's happening at the brain. And that's more than just vision. It's more than just being able to touch something, okay? So the way that we're gonna do this, nice and easy, we keep you seated, sitting upright. You're gonna put your hands on your chest, okay? So let's say you're starting right hand on your chest, left hand on top. That top hand, I want you as quickly as humanly possible, that top hand is gonna touch your knee, and then it's gonna come back and touch your chest. And we get quite competitive with this in clinic where people are like stopwatches trying to time stuff. Don't worry about the time right now. I just want you to think, do 5 repetitions as fast as humanly possible. And if you want to do it with me, we can do it right now. So you're going to put your hands on, right, left hand on top, and then go. That's 5. You switch, that's 1 set, over here, and you're going to do the same thing. And you'll notice the difference. My left is my dominant hand. I'm a little better. I looked probably quite impressive there. Here on the right side, go. That was terrible. I wasn't even trying to be, that was terrible. But what you're going to do is you're going to do twice on the left, twice on the right. 5 repetitions each. And what that's doing, again, that's just sending quick information into the brain. Your brain's processing that information. It's going to send it right back out. You're going to say, oh, but it has nothing to do with my eyes. Oh, it has nothing to do with anything else. Trust me. This is the stuff that helps build the foundation of what you need when it comes to improving reaction time. The final drill for today is something that we call speed saccades, okay? So what you're going to do in that seated position, thumbs up, nice and easy, about shoulder width apart, okay? Just about eye level. And then what I want you to do, and I want you to kind of have soft eyes. I don't want you to feel like you're trying to burn a hole through your thumbs at all. So you want soft, relaxed eyes. But then with those soft, relaxed eyes, they have to move super fast. You're going to try and move them as quickly as you can. So from here, you're going to start, and you're just going to shoot your eyes back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. You're going to do that 10 times. 10 repetitions is 1 set. You're going to take a few breaths, and you're going to do another set. So you're doing 2 sets of 10 repetitions. And what that's going to do, it's going to fire up frontal areas of your brain, deep areas of your brain, visual areas in your brain. And that's all good stuff. It's important. It's not the be-all and end-all of reaction time, like some people would maybe suggest. It's important, just like putting shingles on the roof of your house is important, but it's not the foundation of what really needs to be there. It's nice to have, and we're going to do it, and it's kind of fun to do, so we have it in there. But really, that's only part in addition to all the other things that you have in there. So we're going to have those speed saccades in the drills with everything else. Let's get to it. Now that we've gone through a more complete model of what it means to build better reaction time as an athlete, reaction time that's actually really going to transfer to the field of performance, into the world of sport and athletics. If you've liked that, we're going to be releasing a lot more content soon, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again soon for strategies related to athletic performance as well as brain health. Let's go.